In the last episode, we established the town of Bellevue. And today, we're adding so much detail to our central park, including ducks and swans from the recent animals update. We're also building a secret garden and a secret park. We're growing our population, building my mayor's mansion complete with a private duck pond, and so much more. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Town to City. So as things stand right now, we need to get our population to 50 or higher, and that should be relatively easy. We just need to build a couple more houses to get to that point. And what I'm thinking is that maybe we go into this space and maybe we take out this tree, and then hopefully I can squeeze 2 more townsfolk residences just into this space. Now, it's going to be a little bit cramped, which I don't necessarily love, but I think it's okay. I think we're really probably not going to use this space for much else. And by the looks of it, I think there's like one little spot in there where I could actually build this house. I'm not 100% convinced, but I could swear I saw it flicker. It might have just been that. It might have been that little jump in the movement right there, but it kind of looks like you can see it flickering every now and then. It looks like I could maybe do it. I could maybe shuffle this one over to the right a little bit, but maybe what we do instead is just give them a garden, or maybe we just leave this space open. Maybe we can put some stalls in there. There's going to be some stuff that we can unlock at some point. So I think for now, we did get rid of a tree. Let's put another, let's say, medium tree back here. Is that a medium tree? That is a medium tree. We'll do a little medium tree, maybe something a little bit taller or a little bit more slender right about there. And then we can do a nice tall tree in this space with maybe a little small tree just back here and another one right about there. And that just gives us a little bit of space around these guys. It gives us one more house, which is perfect. We can detail this guy in just a little bit because I think I want to come down this way. And I don't necessarily want to clone what we've done in this space right here. I think that would be a little bit much, and I want to get away from just sort of doing the same thing over and over again. I don't want to start that as a bit of a habit with Town to City. I think the whole game is built around the idea of just sort of free-form building whatever you might want to build. So I think what we'll do, although this is going to be copying something we've sort of done before, is I'm going to go straight off of here. We're going to leave a little bit of space next to that house. I think I want a little bit more space next to that house. I want to go to about there. I think lines up pretty well. So we'll drag this out to about that spot. We can use the freeform brush to just sort of smooth out this corner just a little bit. I think that's pretty good. It's not perfect. This little space in here could definitely be better. I think we can maybe just tidy that up ever so slightly. I think that looks better. This, I think, is going to just get smoothed out very, very slightly. It doesn't need to be quite as gentle as we have at the bottom, but I think that looks pretty good as well. And then I can put some houses on this. Because again, my goal right now is just to get my population to 50. So, oh, this is interesting. Create curbs. That's new. Now, I do know that, oh, that's very cool. So you can just sort of place these wherever. And if I just tap B, it's sort of, that's very, very cool. Okay, that's kind of a big deal because it means that if I don't snap these to the path, I can put them super close to the path and I don't have to do any painting underneath the doors. But I like doing the painting underneath the doors. So I'm going to just leave this sort of how it is. I think we'll do one right there. We can speed the game up a little bit as well, just so these guys get built nice and quickly. We can make sure that these are randomized. We'll go for the red one, then randomize, just to make sure we're not building the same house over and over again. And I think we go to here. And then do I have room to do one more in there? I'm not sure that I do. So we'll get ourselves just another little stretch of road. We'll make sure we're using the line tool, which we are. And this guy can go to about there with another house, I want to say right about there. Now, I do think that's going to be enough space for the remaining 6 people that we need. Although I'm wondering, could I do a house here? Should I do a house here is probably the other question. I feel like I could, and I might, because I don't know what else I'm going to put in that space. We do have a little park across the street already, so maybe just a little house in that corner, just so we're not doing everything at right angles, you know? Because that's something we're kind of at risk of doing right now. I mean, admittedly, these guys are on a curve. They look pretty good, but I want to be careful to not just put everything on right angles. And I think we can also go ahead and open up the station, which has a new icon as well. That's very cool. I should mention, and it was probably mentioned in the intro of the video, that there has been an update to this game. It has animals in it. I don't know what else has been changed, and that's a major influence on me wanting to progress through the research menu, because I know that farms can now have animals, but I also know that once we get to a hamlet, we get animal decorations, which includes ducks, swans, animal bushes, pet statues. Apparently your people can also have pets. I've yet to see any. I don't know how they get them, but that's very cool. I also noticed a bunch of them running around with like little backpacks. I don't know if that's new either, but it's very cool. It's very, very cool. I'm really enjoying this. So you guys want a house near the water, which apparently none of my houses have. That's slightly concerning. I don't think there's much I can do about that, so I'm just going to put you in this house. You guys want a house near a cliff. Yeah, that's going to be tricky as well. We don't have any of those. we don't have any of those available. You can live there. You guys want a house with shops nearby? I guess you can go here. That'll give you sort of middle of the road. And we can upgrade the town to the next stage. We can click the green button up here to upgrade things. So let's upgrade to a dwelling, I guess. We get a little cutscene for this as well, which is very cool. Does this change our train station? I think it does. Oh, look at that. That's very, very cool. I do like that a lot. I'm very excited about the pets and the animal statues and the swans and the ducks. I'm not gonna lie. That's the main reason. It's the main reason I want to do this, is to see the animals. So we are stage 2. We have unlocked apparel as well as tier 2 in the research menu. Sarah Montag. I'm sure there's a way to pronounce this, but my primal brain wants to pronounce it in the most incorrect way possible. If you followed the channel for a while, any game that features cabbages, you might be aware that I love to mispronounce that as cabbage, which is intentional. I think I've said that before. Because the very few times I've explained that don't really get remembered. So occasionally you get people that are like, why do you pronounce it that way? And that's why. So Sarah Montagne, Mayor, can I talk to you for a moment? Sure, Sarah. We're all excited about the potential for our town to grow into a prosperous city. Everything's going swell, though some of the new arrivals are experiencing issues. I suggest building yourself a house first, one with a big mailbox. That way, we'll know how to reach you if we ever have any requests for our little town. So, we can build my home. We can build the mayor's home, which is exciting. I do have a bunch of research available, though, which I think I want to get to sort of first. Now, admittedly, some of this I don't really know about. I know nothing about the opticians. I don't know if I ever got around to the butchers, although I think I might have. The animal decorations, that's all I want. That is all I care about right now. That is the only thing. It's the only thing I'm interested in is the animal decorations. So we have an animal bush, which is, what is this? This is a cat. This, I guess, is a dog. And this is I want to say that's a sheep. I think that's a sheep. We have our swan right here. Oh my God, it moves. That's amazing. Oh, that makes me so happy. I don't know what the difference is. Let's randomize them. We are absolutely putting swans in our little lake right here, 100%. And they're usually in pairs. A little pair of swans right there. I think a little pair of swan. Oh, they move. Oh my God. Oh wait, is that what that is? Is that the arrow? The arrow's a swan that moves around? That's so good. Hold on. If I pause and I put two of these guys like together, no, they're just going to sort of move away from me. That's sad. That's a little bit sad. Okay. I want two swans that just sort of sit together up here as well. Absolutely a pair of swans right there. We also have ducks. We have a bunch of ducks as well. Oh my God. I'm so happy about this. This is making me so happy. I don't know how much they move around. I'm also feeling like there's too many swans moving around. I'm going to get rid of some of them. I feel like the swans should probably sit where they are. I think that makes a ton of sense. The ducks, on the other hand, maybe a little duck over here, maybe a little duck over here, a little duck down. Maybe let's get a different one. Let's have this one down here. Little white duck can go down here, and then maybe, I don't know, a little conversation going on right here in the middle. We have the Council of Ducks that are just plotting the takeover of Bellevue. Is what they're doing. I love this. I love this so much. Oh, that makes me so happy. What is this? Wait, is that? Oh my God, that's amazing. It's a giant dog statue. It's a giant jade dog statue. I love the cat one. Oh my God, I love the cat one. I'm going to have so much fun with these. We have people that want to move in. We do. So you guys can move over here. You guys want to be far away from neighbors. Oh no. Oh no. You can live here for now. That's not going to keep you particularly happy for long, but that's okay. I don't know if we have any houses available, so we'll turn off the train station just to make sure that we don't have, that happening right there. We don't want too many people coming through right now. And you know, just while we're looking at the lake, I have been reminded that you can put plants on it. So I think that would be a really good idea. I want to put some of these little lily pads out here. I think those would be a pretty good idea just to get some details into the lake itself so that we have a little bit of variety out here. We can also do some little plants, little lily pads with flowers on them, which I love the idea of. So those can go a little bit closer to the shore because I think that's going to give us a little bit of color here, which I'm very much okay with. I'm not too sure if the ducks, yeah, they do go through them, but you know what? That's okay. That's by no means the end of the world. It's completely fine if they want to go through. I think I'm also going to say that I want these to be a fixed color in different groups. So up this way is our little purple flowers because I think that's quite cool. We can do maybe that as a little cluster of them right there. And then I like the idea of the red ones next to the swans. I think that'll be a really nice bit of contrast between the white swans and the red flowers. I think that's really cool. We can do some flowers on the shore as well. I don't know if I'll do red flowers on the shore, but I think that's okay. And then down here, I'm kind of feeling purple, though we did do purple here already. So let's try yellow. It's not as pretty as I would hope, but I think that's okay. I think we can work with some little yellow flowers on the lily pads here. And I want to say we don't want to go too crazy with it. So maybe 1 and 2 more. So they're kind of surrounded by them. I do like that. And I'm kind of thinking maybe just 1 or 2 more little sets of lily pads that don't have flowers on them. So we're sort of feathering the flowers out a little bit at either end of the purple right there, either end of the yellow right there, and about there. And I think we do 1 more right there, and then maybe 1 just by the council, just to make sure that, you know, if they want to get out of the water, sort of stretch their feet or whatever, they can climb up onto a lily pad and take a break from whatever it is that they're discussing right there. And I think that looks okay. I do want to get some plants just around this though. I think that would be a great idea. So we'll go for bushes. We'll go for the smallest bush that we can get, which I think is this one. And we'll do just a little something sort of around the edge of this. I do have sand around it, so I want to be mindful of the fact that we might not have too many plants growing in here. But I just think it would be a good idea to, again, sort of feather things out a little bit. I don't think you would have a perfect view of this lake. I think there should be a little bit of nature in here. I think we could play around with some very, very small trees in here as well, just to sort of surround this thing, especially with the animals in it now. You want to make sure that they have a little bit of shelter. They're not being stressed out and looked at all the time. So I think this makes sense. Oh, now I don't know about you, but I think this looks fantastic. I think putting the matching flowers on the coast next to the lily pads was the right idea. I think it nicely sort of just bumps that saturation and bumps that color up a little bit. But I also kind of feel like we're missing out on some benches around here. I think we should definitely have some benches a little bit closer to the water. So maybe a bench right about there. So you can sit and look at the ducks and look at the swans. I think we have a bench over here already, so that's fine. I think in here would be, I mean, we have one there too. Would that be a bit weird having a second bench right here? It might be. Maybe that's just the one bench we have, or maybe we just do two of them over here. So you can sit a little bit closer to the water on this side. You can let your feet sit in the sand, I guess, is a thing. I don't know. I always hear people talking about how they really enjoy, you know, like take your shoes off, take your socks off at the beach and let your toes go into the sand. And part of me is like, yeah, I haven't done that in years. And I don't know why, but just in my in my head, I'm like, ooh, there's something odd about that. Like I've done it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I don't know why in my brain, there's a little part of me that's just like, ew. I think it's because a lot of the beaches that I live near have a lot of houses near them. And I know there's a lot of dogs and cats near them. And I know that people do not pick up after their dogs. So I don't know that I would want to. Wait, can I put, I can put lamps on the water. Never mind not picking up after your dog. I can put, oh my God, right. The council needs a light. They're getting a little lamp. There you go, guys. Now they can sort of see what they're doing. Oh, I love this. I don't know where we would put little lamps in the water. I want to say here. I want to say here is a good spot as well. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know that I like the one in the middle. I don't think they would want to be seen. I think the council operates in darkness. So I don't think they have a lamp. I think we do a little lamp right about there. I'm also noticing, oh wait, no, never mind. I was going to say they're not moving. It's nighttime. They're sleeping, but no, the game is paused. That's not at all what's happening. I think this looks okay. I think these little benches here are fine. I do think we should paint the ground a little bit just to have some dark grass, so that, you know, people walking out to the benches are, you know, maybe wearing the grass down just a little bit less sand over here. Seems like it would kind of make sense. I think we can tidy this up a little bit. We can get a little bit more sand in there, but just a little bit of dark grass seems to me like it would kind of make sense here. And honestly, I think that's probably fine. I think we could maybe go in there with some bushes, maybe go in there with some detailing, maybe a nice big bush in this spot. We'll actually randomize these a little bit. Nice big bush right about there. We'll do another one right about there. And then I think we swap to the smaller ones again, just to make sure that we're not blocking too many sight lines. Okay, I think this might be enough detailing around our little pond for the time being. We do have our benches, we have a little light, we have all of these bushes out here. I think now it's time to figure out where exactly we're going to be building our mayor's home. Now, I've been kind of looking at this space up here, and I've been considering the idea of moving the research center onto one of these cliffs right here, because I think that could be kind of a cool idea. I think moving it onto this cliff or even this cliff could be a really cool idea. But then that sort of defeats the purpose of this big open area that we have through here, because I very specifically haven't put trees here. We only have one little tree right here, and that's because I want to be able to see the research center across the lake from the train station. Now, the mayor's home would be another option for that space. Am I going to be egotistical enough to build my house up at this end of town and move the research center? Part of me thinks I might be, but part of me also thinks that maybe I won't be. I'm a little bit indecisive today. I could just build it down here, but I do feel like being the mayor, I should have my own little plot of land. I feel like I should have my own little area. So what if I built it out here by this lake, and then this lake is a part of my estate is my thinking. That's sort of where I'm at with this. So let's see what we can do. We'll get ourselves a road. We want to make sure it's 3. We want the line tool. And I'm thinking we do a little road right here. So a little something like this should be fine. I don't need too much space, I'm gonna be honest. I also don't swim. That's a little something about me. 32 years old, and I actually do not know how to swim. So I don't know if having a little lake on my estate is a good idea. If we're, you know, assuming that I am in fact the mayor. I should mention I have tried many times to swim. It's not something I'm proud of. It's a little embarrassing to admit as a 32-year-old that I can't swim, but I've genuinely tried. I don't float. I sink. I just don't float. People are like, oh, do this and do that and do the other and make sure you've got air in your lungs and that's going to help you float. And I'm like, I have air in my lungs. I'm breathing, but I don't float. It's a whole thing. It really, really is. I think this could be kind of cool here, although I'm slightly tempted to move the road over a little bit and then maybe double it up kind of like this so that I can have some trees in front of my house. I think that could be kind of neat. Although that might be overdoing it and that might be overthinking it for now. So you know what? Let's just do... Can I put it on the water? No. Okay, that's fine. I think we just build it right in the middle of this road. I think right there for now is fine. And I think we speed things up so we can see what exactly we're dealing with here. And this is going to complete our current objective, which is completely fine. It's a little slower to build than most things, but that is a house fit for a mayor, which is fantastic. Amazing. Your house looks great. I'm sure the first requests will start coming in soon. We're all thrilled to have such an involved mayor in town. Don't worry if it takes a while to address any of our requests. We're patient townsfolk. That's good, because I'm not in any rush to complete any of your requests, to be quite honest with you. We do have a bunch of research stuff available. The second floor housing will... I don't know if that gives us more people in a house. I can't remember. I'm not going to unlock anything just yet because I'm sure that the requests that we get from this mansion are going to sort of steer us in a particular direction. What I would like to do is start putting a little wall around my mansion. I think that's going to be kind of important. So we'll do a little something like this. I think it could go up to about there, and we'll go to about... I want to say there. We'll bring this in and we can sort of bring it over to the cliff. I'm going to bring it about that far, I think, and that should be fine. We can sort of put some trees in there to hide how janky that looks. It is not a big deal. I'm assuming that's my mailbox, which is great. Let's do a wall from about here going to about this spot. And I think we start moving our way backwards about here to about here. And then to about there, I think, is probably going to be fine. I think that sort of nicely surrounds the space, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want to be careful putting things up here, I think, as well. I don't want people living up there and looking down into my estate. I think that would be a little bit odd. But we can at least line the road with some trees that are going to bring this all together. So let's do... I realize the spacing between these pillars is not going to be even, but I'm going to try and see what it would look like if I have all the trees kind of between the pillars on the wall. Does it look okay if I sort of have them facing the wall as well, just the entire way along to here? And then in that corner, well, I think we can do one more and then a big tree back there to, you know, hide our crimes. And I think that actually looks pretty good. So I want to do the same thing over on this side with the rest of the cypress trees. We'll do one. We'll do 2 right about there. We can do 3 right about there. 4 is a little bit closer than I would like. And I do think the rest of them help bring this together. Now, this space over here, we do have the option of putting a medium tree into. I think a medium tree might look a little bit better than a large tree. It's still going to help me just hide our crimes a little bit, which is what I'm looking for. I think we do a pair of medium trees down here at the end, so you can't really see where that wall's going to, which I think is fine. And I think up at this end of things, it's not the end of the world. We could maybe just do some large bushes here to, again, ever so slightly just hide our crimes, if it's going to let me, which it doesn't really seem to want to do. I think that looks all right. Maybe we randomize a little bit and we go for a slightly different bush on this side. Maybe we go down to a slightly smaller bush here. And I want to say that's fine. I think maybe we put a little different small tree in this space just to sort of show that it's a bit of a different area, but I think that's okay. I think that looks pretty good. Now, you know what I'm also thinking? I think we could do some swans. I think we could do some swans back here. I think that would be great. So let's do a little swan right here and a little swan right here. We'll have a little pair of them. We can do maybe one that just sort of sits and chills, and then one that's sort of roaming around a little bit, so that they're kind of, you know, one's kind of relaxing, one's out there, I don't know, getting food or whatever it might be. And then we want to do some ducks. Now, I don't think we're going to have a council of ducks in this water. I think we'll just have a couple of ducks, one right there, and we'll do one right there. And we'll just have the 3 ducks that kind of move around in the middle. And I think that'll be okay. I do really like the idea of having my own personal duck and swan pond. That's very cool. That feels very mayoral, right? It feels a little bit royal family, actually, given maybe the mayor is the only person allowed to eat swan. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say right now, I'm not eating the swans. Okay, I'm not eating the dogs. I'm not eating the cats, and I'm certainly not eating the swans. You know, I've just realized that this would be the perfect place to put something like a cat statue just next to my mansion. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. I want to put it right about there, I think, is kind of a cool spot for it. Just sort of looking out over the trees. I do like that. It doesn't really line up perfectly with the wall, but that's probably fine. And I think what we can also do is go in here again with the dark grass. I think we go for a very, very small brush. And I think we just start to sort of paint around this so it looks like people might be kind of walking through here. We could even go for a smaller brush just to really make it look like there's sort of a path that people are taking around here instead of it just being this huge amount of dark grass. I do think people would be walking a little bit more around the statue, so we can kind of do this. We can go back to our regular grass and sort of thin this out a little bit so it's a little bit less pronounced. And I might even go so far as saying that we want to do a little bit of dirt just underneath the trees. Is that too extra? Is that too much? It might be. It's maybe a little bit much, but you know what? I kind of like it. It's kind of a cool little bit of detail that I think, you know, it's kind of realistic, right? It's sort of the way it is. You do usually see a little patch of dirt around the base of trees. So I think this kind of makes a bit of sense as far as I'm concerned. And then I think back here, I want to just sort of repair. Oh no, I've not done too much to the grass back here. That's interesting. Let's do a little bit of dark grass just sort of along the water, because I like to imagine that we probably would have people walking back and forth here, which makes sense. I would be walking back and forth here all the time. And you know, I think we also do a bench. I think we have a little bench right about here, so you can just sit. The mayor, me, I can just sit and enjoy the ducks and the swans. We'll get a little lamp right about there because I think that makes sense. Can I put flowers on the house? Is that an option that I have? It is. Okay. What does this place look like? It's a little dark. There's a bit of purple in there, so I'm kind of thinking yellow will go nicely with the purple. We could just do purple flowers, but I think that's a bit much. The white ones, no, I'm thinking yellow to sort of go along with the purple there. So we'll do a bunch of yellow flowers in all of the windows. Can I do a light above the door? I cannot, but I can do a light right about, say, there and right about there. So we have some lights at either side of the door, which I think is great. And we could do some street lights out here. I don't think we need them. I want to say that's probably enough. I do. I think that's probably enough. Although, I can't do flowers in here? That's unfortunate. I think that would look really good. I think having flowers in there would look great. I do like the idea of them hanging over the balcony though. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. I think we could do maybe a little something here and a little something just here. It's not going to be perfect, but I think that looks great. Very much a fan of that. And then we have all this space in the back that we're not doing anything with. I don't love that, but that's probably something we're never going to look at. I'm also slightly sad that I can't put ducks on the house. I'm a little sad about that, but it's not the end of the world. It's okay. It's probably fine. So I guess we should take a look at what this request happens to be. We have Rose Hello, Mayor. When I moved here, I didn't realize I would have to survive without my favorite tailor. I fear I'm getting desperately out of fashion. Would you be a dear and build a little clothing boutique in our little town? And make sure they sell red clothes, dear. I hear it's the latest trend in the big city. So this is why I haven't bothered to research anything, because we need to research the clothing store. We're probably also going to need clothing colors, so we'll get that. We don't need the Shoemaker right now, but we could get that at some point, which could be fun. This is a larger warehouse that collects goods from the station and distributes it to shops. It's more efficient when placed near shops, I'm assuming with a larger radius on it, which is pretty cool. You know, I want park decorations as well, just while we're here. I want to see what they are. So that gives us quite a few options. It gives me a hedge. Oh no, this would have been perfect for my house. That would have been great. We get hopscotch as well. Oh my God, I need to build a park. I need to build a park. The picnic table, maybe that would make more sense in some of these spots around here. I know we have to build a clothing store. I know that's kind of the thing we're supposed to be doing right now, but I don't know about you. Oh my God, we do have someone sitting here. Oh, we get a couple of someone sitting here. We have a lot of someone sitting here. I love this. Oh my God. Look, I know that the title, the original title of the first video of this game, the one we did recently, I know there were a couple of people that were like, what do you mean this is the best city builder? I know that was a little bit controversial, but I love this. This game has animations of your people doing things. I love City Skylines too, but it's 2 years in, man, and you don't even see people like sitting around. Oh, look at this. Just right away, they're like going up to chill. They're having this looks like a secret meeting. Like sitting facing away from each other, arm on the table, like, hey, don't turn around. Don't let anyone know we're talking. I don't know. You know what? It's fine. We need to build a clothing store is what we need to do. We have apparel right here. We have a clothing store right here. Low range, small workforce, above average production capacity. So this thing is very cool looking. I want to say it should go up here though. And if I zoom out, it will cover almost everybody. If I move it down this way, it's still almost everybody. It could go in this space actually, and then it would cover everybody. I think that's what we do. Wait, can I build it in here? If I got rid of that tree, oh, is that what goes in this space? Can I build a clothing store in there? Oh, I can. That is perfect. Oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. It does have windows on that side. It kind of has like a little promenade thing going on. If I were to say, don't create curbs, bring it forward to, I want to say about there. Or do I want it closer to this house? I don't want it closer to the house because of the windows. I think we leave a little bit of space between the house and the clothing store. And I think the clothing store can live right about there is where it can live. And that's kind of the perfect spot. I mean, it covers everybody, which is great. Some shops allow you to customize the goods they sell. This is one of them. Click the shop to check it out. So in here, we can sell red clothing, which we're absolutely going to do, and that'll be fine. We can make sure that we have demand 57, so we're going to need 3 people working in here, which is great. And I think that just gets the clothing store up and running. I think that's all we needed. My friends will be jealous of this dress. Okay. 1,000 thanks, Mayor. I didn't sound like this when you opened this dialogue the first time, but I do now. I'm wearing a red dress. Even those big city folk would be envious of my beautiful garments. You look stunning. My Mayor, aren't you handing out compliments today? Ooh. Okay, $125 is fine. I want to decorate this place, is what I'd like to do. Can I put plants in the windows? I totally can. So it's a very rad looking building. I also need to decorate those new houses, don't I? Totally forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. Let's do some white flowers in these windows. I think that will be a nice little addition to the space. A little bit of a shame we don't have much going on down the side here. I think that would have been kind of cool, but I think this is fine as it is. Although, we could, if I wanted to, do just like a little wall back here, maybe, and sort of make it look like there's like a little yard going on behind this thing. Maybe not a wall, but maybe a fence. Maybe like a nice tall fence that sort of just goes at a bit of an angle to begin with. So something like this and something like this. I mean, we're going to have to deal with the fact that it's not going to connect to the fence on the left, but it kind of gives the illusion that we could have stuff back here. I mean, there's a staircase there, so I think that would make sense. I think we could go in, we could get ourselves some ground paints. I don't know what this is supposed to be, that kind of brown tile looking stuff. It kind of blends with the dirt. So I think we go for the dirt. I think we turn dithering off. I think we get ourselves a slightly larger brush. And I think we just paint in something that blends with this dirt, so it kind of looks like it's maybe tiles or something. And we can kind of come back this way a little bit. We'll stamp this in right to about that spot. So we kind of have a little path that comes around here. And I think that's kind of cool. I do like that. And of course, we can do some flowers, we can do some bushes, we can do some trees, we can do all that good stuff. So I think a little tree right there. I think a slightly smaller tree right there. I can get a small tree in there as well, which I'm willing to do. And yeah, I think we just do some flowers down the side here. And I'm kind of feeling the mixed ones. I think that'll be pretty good. So we'll do 1 and 2. We'll do 3 right about there. We'll do 4, 5, and probably just 6 of them. I think that'll be okay. And that nicely decorates our clothing store. Also, time moving so quickly. Let's slow the game down a little bit because things are getting away from me just ever so slightly. It does make me happy that we have this though. And we should see, if we zoom in a little bit, I think we'll start seeing people wearing a lot of red, which is great. I love that that's a thing. I love that you could sort of like theoretically designate districts based on like the color of someone's clothes. So this is like the red district. We can have the blue district and so on and so forth. I think that's very neat. And I'm very excited to do that. But I also need to remember to decorate some of these houses because this has ever so slightly gotten away from me. So let's do yellow for your windows. We can give you maybe a little bench right about there as well. You don't need too much, but just a little something. Down this way, we can give you the white flowers in the windows. We'll give you the red flowers. We'll give you the yellow, I think. And I think you were going to get the white ones. And I'm kind of thinking that between these houses, we could do like a little secret garden kind of thing. So a little archway right there seems good. I think we want to do some hedges just in here as well that sort of connects to the archway as best we possibly can. So 2 about there should be fine. It doesn't look perfect, but it doesn't really have to. We're never going to look at it all this closely again, so it's not the end of the world if it's not absolutely perfect. I think that looks okay. And then back in here, I'm not really too sure what this secret garden thing is going to look like. I hadn't really thought this far ahead, to be honest with you, but I think we do a couple of cypress trees just to sort of make it look like there's a very clear entrance here. I'm also 100% confident that kids from either of these 2 houses would jump into the top of these trees and get hurt at some point, and I say that because that's probably what I would do. If my house had a balcony with a tree growing right next to it, you know I would have thrown myself into that tree, not thinking about the consequences of what I was about to do. I 100% would have launched myself off that balcony thinking that I'm in WrestleMania or something like that. And I was never a wrestling kind of kid. I've never followed like wrestling in general, but I would 100% have thrown myself off of it thinking I was like the Undertaker throwing Mankind off the top of a Hell in a Cell or something like that. It would have happened. It really would have. So this seems like a bit of a safety risk, but I think it's funny. So that's why I'm doing it. That's pretty much that's the summary of most of what I do. I think it's entertaining, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, and look at this. We have someone going into the little secret garden, which has a cat in it, by the way. I decided that was a thing we were going to do. I love that. I really do. I think that looks kind of fantastic. It's such a cool little use of the space. We get some lights in there. I think it looks really, really good. I also don't know if we have families in all of the houses. I think, yeah, we do have 2 houses available. So let's open things up a little bit because we can. And let's see what this next request is all about because I'm curious. Ah, every tree in the neighborhood looks the same. They're all leafy. How about we plant a bunch of pine trees to spruce up our town? Oh, there are too many spruces, you think? No, too many oaks. We need pines. I have some saplings and mulch laying around. Mayor, could you plant 10 pine trees around here? Interesting. Okay. I mean, yes, I could. I definitely could. They're pretty good looking trees, all things considered. Not 100% sure where to plant them. I think one back here for now might be a pretty good spot. I think we could do one sort of back here and another one sort of here. I'm kind of cheating a little bit by putting them nowhere near anything important, but it works for me. It's my city or it's my town, whatever it is. It works. It works for me. I don't know how many that is. Wait, click to set. Oh my God, I have to set the area that I'm planting them in. Oh, that's rough. Okay. we're gonna say here is what we're gonna do. And I am just gonna plant them sort of out here away from everything that I've built so far because I don't necessarily agree with the idea of just planting a bunch of random pine trees next to everything. So we'll do this, which is fine. We have planted all of those pine trees. Pine trees! Aren't they just the loveliest? It's so much more foresty here now. Deciduously so. And it gives me money. Is that all I get from this? Is that all I'm worth? Is planting a bunch of trees and being given money? I see how it is. They would like a regular, comfortable house. Do we only have 2 families here? That's kind of perfect. Let's turn this off. Let's give you guys... Oh, we have another house available. Okay. Well, you can go in there. You can go in there. And that'll keep them nicely covered. We have 17 workers available. So you know what we should probably do? We should go into research and we should look into some other things. A shoemaker could be very interesting. A butcher could be very interesting. The optician. Now this, I'm going to be honest, I kind of do want the optician simply to see what exactly it looks like when everyone's running around in glasses. But I think the shoemaker might make a little bit more sense for now. So we'll do this. We could get the butcher as well. I think I'm going to hold off because I'm very curious about the shoemaker. We also have this space right here, which I would say is kind of perfect for the shoemaker. It is kind of putting all of our shops right next to the entrance of town, but that seems okay. This thing is right down here going to cover everybody, which is good news for me. So let's do the shoemaker. I want to say right about there, I think is going to be perfect. We'll speed things up so that it gets built nice and quickly. We will need to get some people working in here. We will need to do some detailing around it, but that's all right. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4 people in there. We have no complaints about people not having the capacity to run their businesses, which is good. So looking at this guy, I don't think I can customize anything that you do, which is fine. I'm not super worried about that, but I would like to speed things up and I would like to go in here with maybe some stone. Maybe that would make sense around this guy. Maybe some dark soil. I don't know about the dark soil. I think we go for stone around this. And I think we just sort of, I don't know if we need it on the side here, but I definitely want it on the front. So let's do a little bit of stone here as well. We can sort of paint all of this space. So it kind of has this little area out front, which I think makes sense. We can do some decorations down the side here. And then out back, I don't know that it needs anything. I don't know that there should be anything back there. So I think what we do is we get our decorations. I think down the side of this guy, I'm kind of thinking small trees. I'd like to just line this with maybe 3 little cypress trees. So one, can I get one close to the station? Is that going to be an option? Is that going to be possible? Doesn't seem like it. I can do them back here. I just can't do them in here, which is unfortunate. So let's just do 1. We'll do 2. We'll do 3 in this space. I don't know how I feel about that one in the corner. I think that might need to go away, and maybe we try to replace it with bushes. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be an option either. It doesn't seem to be. Okay, what about a wall? What if we did like a little wall right here? I think that looks interesting, although the building is obviously a wall in and of itself. So maybe a hedge would make more sense, just to sort of have a little bit of green in here. I think that would be kind of cool. So a little hedge right about there. I like that. I do. I think that looks quite nice. And then maybe just a little small tree at the front of it. Maybe just this guy in here, or maybe one of these guys in here for something a little bit different. Yeah, I can work with that. I think I can work with that. The final thing to do with this building then is going to be decorations around the windows. Now it's a kind of yellowy orangey building, so I'm thinking purple, just so we have something that stands out a little bit. Apparently I can't do it on those side windows, which is fine. But we'll have purple kind of the entire way through here. I think that looks pretty cool. We do probably want to try and get some lights above the door. I kind of like it being tucked in there a little bit. I think that's quite cool. I think a light above that door makes perfect sense as well. I think a light above that door makes perfect sense. And a light above the back door probably makes perfect sense as well. And you know, I think a little light out here in the street kind of makes sense. It's slightly annoying that I can't place it sort of in the footprint of the building. I understand why I can't do that. But yeah, well, you know what? We don't need one. We have a light above the door. We should be fine. I don't think we need to worry too much about it. We'll get a light above the warehouse just while we're here, because again, I think that probably makes a fair bit of sense. And so we should have people running around in shoes. We should have them running around in red dresses. We have ducks and swans. We obviously have the council. I love, oh my God, I love this. I love how this looks. This space here is slightly bothering me though. I want to find something for this area. So if we have a look into our research menu, we do have the warehouse, we do have the butcher, we have Halloween decorations, which, I mean, it's a little late on that one, unfortunately. I don't know if we ever unlock Christmas decorations. I would imagine this game is probably going to get Christmas decorations. It's only been on Steam Early Access for a couple of months, so I would imagine the Halloween decorations come out in October. I would imagine the Christmas decorations are coming at some point in the near future. So that'll be interesting. I think what I'm also going to do, now that I think about it, we have these 13 available workers. Let's put 3 more of them into the research center so that we're getting, what, 6, 12, 18, 24, 300 it tells me right there. So we're getting 300 research every single day. That way it should be a little bit easier to get our hands on things like the Optician or the Butcher. Now, just because we've kind of been on this clothing thing, I think we go for the Optician. I think that could be kind of fun, and I want to see if it fits in here. It looks ridiculous. Just notice the nose. Oh my God, I didn't. So I saw the pic, like looking at this, I could clearly see it was like glasses, but it didn't connect that was a nose. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love that. Okay. I want to build this guy. Where do I want to build this guy? I really don't know. I don't know if I want it that close to the path. I guess I kind of do. I guess it fills in the space. So sure. We're just going to build it right there is what we'll do. We'll speed things up a little bit. And I really want to see my people going around with glasses now. This is new. This wasn't in the demo, so this is very, very cool. It's going to need 1, 2, 3 people working in there. It's going to be amazing. Oh my God, I'm excited. Let's do our little stone sort of paving thing that we do just to bring it all together. And is there anything at the back I need to worry about? There is a little bit. So I think what we do is we bring this out. And I think we can sort of bring it down and sort of connect it all together a little bit. So we do have the paving coming across here, which is fine. We have this space back here, which is fine. I think we go a little bit further with this. So we kind of bring it out to here. And then I can do some hedges around it, or I can do some fences around it, or I can do something to sort of bring it all together. So unfortunately, I can't get right up against the building next door. But I think this is fine. I think going to there and going to right about there should be okay. It nicely kind of surrounds it. It makes it feel like a good little yard. And then we can go in with some small trees. And I don't think we'll go for the cypress trees this time. I think we'll do whatever this is. And I think we'll do whatever this guy is. Again, just to sort of separate the buildings from the train station. And I love that. I do. I love that so much. I think it looks amazing. I love that space. Oh my God. It's so good. Can I put decorations on these windows? Is that an option? Yeah, kind of. It's a little weird looking. I think maybe we just go for the, we have purple next door. Let's just do red on this one, I suppose, just to be a little bit different. Can I do red here? I can. Does that look okay? Yeah, kind of. It looks all right. Can I do a light above the door? I can. Can I do light? Oh my God, I can do lights above those windows. It looks like eyebrows. Oh, I love it. Eyebrows and a mustache. That's, yeah. Okay. I'm okay with this. Very much okay with this. Can I get a light above that door? Unfortunately not. Okay. We'll do a little light back here is what we'll do. We'll do a little light right about there, just so the backspace is nicely lit. It looks ridiculous. It looks so silly, but I kind of love it. I'm also thinking that our little secret garden thing here needs a bit of texture. So we'll go through with another relatively small brush. I don't think I want to do I want to do dry grass just to sort of make it look like a path? I kind of do, actually. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it's, you know, I don't love the idea that it's yellowed with people walking through here, but I think it does make it pop a little bit. It gives it, you know, something that looks distinctly like a path, which is what it is. As for this space here, I'm not really too sure what to do with it. I'm slightly tempted to take these trees out, and I'm slightly tempted to say that maybe we do something like another park. Now, admittedly, we do have a park right here, so putting a park back here might be kind of silly, but I kind of like the idea that we can get the little hopscotch thing in here. So let's do, I don't know, it doesn't need to be huge by any means. It really, really doesn't. But we'll do something like this. We'll bring this guy down to about, I want to say here and to about there. So that gives us a nicely enclosed area, which I think is good. I would also like to do some hedges in here. I'm not too sure how close I can get these guys together, but I like the idea that we would sort of double this up a little bit so that we have these hedges against the fence. I think that looks really cool. I actually really, really enjoy that. I think that's a really cool look. So that's fantastic. We could do a statue in here if we wanted to, but I think I more so want to go for like hopscotch and a wooden slide. I think that's kind of my goal. So the wooden slide, I want to say it does fit there, but I don't want to make this place wider is the thing. So maybe the wooden slide can kind of go here. I don't love the idea of it being at a perfect sort of right angle to everything. So I'm going to move it to here. And then hopscotch is going to go in this space. I don't know what direction they're necessarily going to use to go on the hopscotch thing, but we'll just put it right about there, which seems fine. Hopefully they can get through the middle. And then can I do an archway here? I absolutely can. Can I do the big archway? No, we're not going to be doing the big archway, but we can do the little one, which is perfectly fine. It is going to go right about there. I think is fine. I'm hoping I can do something to kind of block this space so that this becomes a little bit more of a distinct entrance to this area, but we'll figure that out. I think we can also do some little small benches in here because we're kind of going to be limited on space. I do want to get trees in here. I do want to paint some of the terrain in here. We could maybe do a slightly larger bench in this spot. No, we can't because it's in the footprint of a building. We'll do it in here for the slightly larger bench so that we do have some options, which I think is important. We're going to need some lights. So we'll do a little lamp, I want to say here, just so that bench has some light. We'll do a little lamp right about here. So that one has some light. We have a customer as well, which is very exciting. Oh, I love this. I actually really do like this. It's a cool little area. It's a little bit off the trail, but I think it's okay. I think it works. We can hopefully do some trees in here is what I'm hoping for. I slightly have my doubts. Why can I not change? I'm slightly stuck with that one tree. Small trees, this one. Can I do small trees here? I totally can. So again, it's going to be a bunch of cypress trees. just to sort of hide our crimes a little bit and just block the view of the train. I think that looks okay, although this one could maybe do with being moved so it's not sticking through the fence as much. Oh, look at you! Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so happy with this. I think we get a nice medium tree, and I think in fact, you know what? Let's do the pine tree again. Since we did get rid of some pine trees to build this, we'll do a pine tree right there. We can randomize. We can go for a pine tree right about there. And that looks okay. It's a little bit overgrown, but that looks pretty good. Oh, I love this. I do. I love this a lot. I do think we probably want a lamp in the corner just to sort of brighten that little corner up a little bit. But otherwise, I like this a lot. I think we just need to paint the terrain a little bit, which might be, I think, dry grass again, just to sort of look the part. I think it would be, again, a little bit darkened, a little bit dry, whatever it might be, just to look like a path, even if it doesn't get used as a path by my people. I think something that kind of resembles a path probably makes a fair bit of sense. Oh, there we go. I love this. I think it looks fantastic. I think the little bit of color from the flowers was a good touch. I like the tree in the middle as well. We have that little bit of green space. Unfortunately, there isn't really much I can do with the archway. I can't get some fences down here to connect to the Opticians, which looks amazing with its lights, but I think that's okay. I think we can work with this. We do get people coming in here from time to time, which is what I'm looking for. We have our little secret garden thing here. I love that space. I really, really do. Now, I am thinking that we should probably work to grow the population just a little bit more, because I think our next research goal is 120 people. So we need to upgrade, or well, not upgrade, we need to double our population. We also have something called the Fountain of Seasons, which looks really cool, at least from what I can see. And I don't know where I would build that. We have a better warehouse that we should probably get as well. And we have the butcher that we should probably get. And I suppose we could get second floor housing, which I'm tempted to do, although I don't know where I would put it. I'm really not too sure on that one, because I don't know if second floor housing is going to look all that good for all the houses that we have. So I think what we do is maybe look at this space here, and I'm debating whether or not I want my houses to sort of follow the curvature of this road around here, or if I want to set them back a little bit and kind of create like a little neighborhood thing here. I think that could be kind of interesting. At the very least, sort of bringing something out until we get to this straight section of road, because I don't mind houses being directly opposite mine. I think that's okay. So I think what we do is we'll speed the game up a little bit. We can do maybe one right there, and I think we do another one just right next to it. We want to make sure these are randomized, at least in terms of colors. So we'll go for blue, then we'll hit randomize, and we'll go for about that spot should be fine. And then we can do a third one, hopefully roughly in line, which I think that more or less is. That seems fine. And then my thinking would be that we build, well, maybe I do just curve them around the road. But then that's going to leave us a lot of empty space back here. I guess that could be parks and things, but I'd like those to be a little bit more prominent. I'd like those to be a little bit more visible. So let me say that we're not snapping you. We can rotate this around a little bit. We'll sort of do this, is my thinking. And I want to go for, I think a blue house is going to be the idea here. A nice little blue house with a blue window. We can do, it's a reference to the 90s there. You're welcome. We'll do this one a little bit further back is my thinking. So I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe a little bit further forward, a little bit further back. I don't know. Haven't really decided yet. I think we'll go for about there is my thinking. And then I want to put two of them back here. So we're going to sort of build a road that comes back into this space. We can put a couple of houses on it, and that gives us like an area in the middle here for like a park, which could be kind of fun. It gives us some space back here for some trees, which could be kind of fun. So let's just give you a little road that goes up to your door so that we can make sure people can get into that house. So just a little something like that should be fine. We can kind of freeform those corners to be a little bit less terrible looking as well. So I think that's all right. It's not the best looking. I think that's a little bit better. I don't know if we needed to do that, but I'm going to, just to make sure that people can get into that house. And then for the rest of it, this is kind of the fun part. We want to do maybe a 2. I think this probably should be maybe a 2.5. We don't want it to be a huge road, but I also want to make sure that we're going to get a decent number of houses on it. So let's just bring our curvature down a little bit. And we want to go to about there. And on this side of things, we kind of want to do the same thing. So we want to maybe start up at this end. And I want to... Does that house have its... Wait, why can I build right up against this one, but I can't build up against this one? You know what? It doesn't matter. It's not that important. It's not that deep. Let's come out here a little bit just to... I want to say that spot. And we'll connect these guys together. And hopefully... that is going to give me enough space to build 2 houses on with a nice little park in front, which I think is going to look great. So let's go for yellow. Let's randomize and snap to roads. Or maybe we don't snap to the roads. maybe we freeform these guys just to try and get the space to work. We'll go for red actually on this one is what we'll do. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking, okay? I'm thinking right there. And I'm thinking we do the White House. And we do it just next door, as close as we can get. We're going to have the rooftops touching, just because we are a little bit limited on space. Maybe a little bit of a gap between them's okay. Just a tiny, tiny little bit of a gap. And I think that looks all right. A bit of a weird area, I'll admit, but I love the idea of having like nature and a little mini park in here. I think that's very, very cool. So that's kind of the idea. I am wondering if I want to sharpen up this path, though, because that could be kind of a cool idea. If we make this brush really, really small, we can kind of sharpen up that corner just ever so slightly. I want to use the freeform tool to do it, though. Just ever so slightly, because it means I can kind of give this guy a little bit more of a pronounced kind of garden, which I think would make sense. So something like that I think is all right. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect, though. So I think that's how we're going to do it. These guys aren't going to be getting paths, but we can give them some stone with a very small brush. We don't need dithering on it. We just want to do a little something like this, a little something like this, and a little something like this, so they have connections to the paths. Obviously, we don't need to do that, but I think it looks the part. I think it connects them together really nicely, which is what I'm looking for. And so now, I guess, we can, number 1, open up the station, and number 2, figure out what detailing around here is going to look like. Because I do like the idea that we do... Well, I could make this a plaza. I don't think I want it to be a plaza, though. I think I want to do the little sandy roads again. I think that kind of makes sense. I don't quite know what it would look like through here. So maybe we just freeform it is what we do. We kind of bring it down. We'll bring it over. We'll bring it back a little bit. And we'll bring it down to here. And I suppose that's about as good as it's going to be. There's not really a lot of need for it. I don't know if it's going to get used all that much, but I think that's fine. We could probably come off of here as well. And I want to say that's about as far as I'm going to go. I think we'll do like a nice big set of trees in here. And, well, maybe we go for a slightly bigger brush and just make this a little bit more round in the middle. Just to sort of give us, I don't know, like a focal point on this thing. Yeah, I think we do that. It doesn't look great, does it? But we'll figure that out is what we'll do. We could do just like a little tiny smidge of grass there. We'll do a tree on that at some point. I want to make sure we don't have too many people trying to move in. What do you want? You want to share a neighborhood with a bunch of people? Well, have I got news for you? You can live over there is what you can do. You just want a comfortable house. You're going to live there is what you're going to do. Don't see any complaints, which is good. We'll slow the game down a little bit just to make sure that we don't get too carried away. And I suppose we just do the usual. We go in here. I think these guys just really like sunflowers. I love the combo of blue and yellow. I think these guys really like little white daisies, so they can have a bunch of daisies. These guys like roses. I also love the contrast here of the red building with the white flowers and the white building with the red flowers. I think that looks great. You guys can have purple. You guys can have yellow. And you guys can have a mix, because we don't really use the mix all that often, which is totally fine. I think it changed, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. We'll get them some lights, of course. I think we'll give both of you guys some lights. We'll give you some lights as well. And there is more we could do. We can do little benches up here, of course, so that they have space to sit on their balconies and relax. I'm not going to do that for people that are living opposite me, because this is my duck pond. It is not theirs, so they're not getting they're not getting any benches. That's just how that's going to work. But they can have, you know, a nice abundance of plants is what they can have. They can have like a little tree right there. These guys can have whatever that is, and that'll be fine. And you know, I've realized we could do a picnic table in here. We could do a couple of picnic tables in here. So we'll do one, and we'll do I want them to be the same color? You know what? I don't. We didn't get a set of them. We just found them is what we did. We found two separate picnic tables behind a dumpster somewhere, and we've decided that that's what's going to be here. Now, when it comes to this archway, I think I'm going to go for the wooden arch, because I think it'll work better if we do fences around this instead of hedges. I think the hedges will blend a little bit too much with the grass, so I think the fences and the wooden arches will just look a little bit better. So we'll get ourselves a small wooden fence right here, and we want to just bring this out as best we can, sort of following whatever curvature we have going on, which really isn't all that much, but that's okay, up to about that spot. We want to do the same thing over on this side as well, going to try my best to follow this entire sort of corner. It's not great looking, but you know what? It doesn't have to be. We did steal the park benches from behind a dumpster, so you know what? It's okay. It's totally fine. This one doesn't even connect to the archway properly, so that's kind of fun. Bring this down to here, and I think that looks good. It's it looks a little bit like a petting zoo, but yeah, it looks a little rough around the edges. Maybe we give them some hedges in the middle, just to I don't know. Does this look better? Yeah, it still looks like a petting zoo, but I think the hedges really, I think the hedges are doing a lot of heavy lifting right there. So that's fine. We can we can do these hedges around here, and hopefully I will forget about this absolute atrocity that I've built at some point, because it's not my best work. It's yeah, it's definitely not my best work, but it's okay. Let's do a little small tree. I think it has to be a little cypress tree right in the middle there. It's sort of the least intrusive that we could put in that space. Do I want to do another tree? I kind of do. I want to do like this guy. I mean, yes, it blocks their view a little bit, but I like the idea of having those trees in there. I think a little bit of variety in the color of our flowers could be kind of fun through here. So I think we do something like this, which seems okay. I think we could just put a little bush back there. Is that an option? It totally is. And I think we do another little set of bushes just here and here. And that's probably about as good as we're going to get. Maybe a street light just between the benches, or maybe we just put it up there. I don't know if that's actually going to cast any light on those benches, but that should be fine. I think a little street light up there as well is fine. And then we just need to do your garden. And there we go. I think this looks pretty good, all things considered. Now, we do have a family over here that wants to live nearby an apparel shop. We actually have a couple of families, which has me wanting to turn this off again just to make sure that we're okay. Now, you guys, what do you want to live next to? You want to be near the water. That's fine, I guess. What do you guys want to be near? You guys want to be near flowers. If I was to move you into this house, and then we move you guys into here, you do get the benefits of being relatively close to the apparel shop, which does have demand for more people, which is something we do want to try and stay on top of. The Opticians is going to need more people as well, which is fantastic. You guys want a comfortable house? You guys want to be near food shops. Interesting. Do you guys have any demands? You don't. So you guys are getting moved down in front of my manor. And then you guys in the food shops, yeah, you're going to live there. And you guys just want to live down this way, which is totally fine. So that brings us up to 84 people, which is not bad, all things considered. We do need more workers in the Shoemaker as well, just to make sure that that's all going. Very surprised that we do actually need, wait, we can upgrade this? Oh, it is upgraded. Wait, it's upgraded. Oh, we don't have the capacity. Interesting. I thought it would tell me, but it doesn't. I've not been staying on top of this. So we do actually need another cheese stall. We do need another poultry stall. We, I assume, do need another fish stall and a fruit stall and presumably a vegetable stall. Yeah. Well, that's kind of why I've been leaving this space open over here, because we can just build another little market into this area, which is very exciting. I was going to wrap things up a little bit here, but I think it probably makes sense that we look to get some extra markets in here. So let's do our little, whatever this one is. I think that's the poultry stall. We'll go for, you know what? We'll go a little bit further down. We'll go to about here for the poultry stall. The cheese stall is going to live a little bit further up this way, which I think is fine. We can do our fish stall. I need to make sure I've got the room for all of these. What is this one? This is our, if I could see the name, this is our fruit stall. Okay. I could space them out. I could put them back here, but I like the idea of doing a bunch of trees and decorations back there. Although maybe it would make more sense to have them a bit further back. I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure with this. Let's just sort of put them in this space for now. I think we try to just put them in here. I like the idea that this little park area is also our sort of main central market. That seems pretty cool to me. Now there is like one spot in here that this works. Right about there is where that's going to go. We do have 16 available workers. So one here, one here. We can do one here. Apparently we need more over this way, which is fair enough. One in there and one in there. And apparently another two in there. Oh boy. We're going through workers very quickly. Now, unfortunately, our warehouse, the demand is 894. We have capacity for 500, which means we need another warehouse. So if I get this one, is that an upgrade for the warehouse? It is not. I think it is just a new warehouse. Interesting. So it's a pretty good looking warehouse. It's pretty sizable. I don't know where I'm going to build it though, because I've got nowhere that it makes sense right now. Back here could be kind of interesting. It makes more sense in my opinion down by the train station. It really does. If I was to rotate this around, could I fit it in that space? I don't think I could. Well, actually, you know what? Looking at it, it does kind of look like it would fit in there if I took out all the decorations that I've done. But I don't think I'm willing to take out all the decorations that I've done, to be quite honest with you. I also don't know that I love the layout of this little space in here. So I'm going to just sort of move these around a little bit. I think they need just a little bit more room between them. So you're going to live there. You're going to come down to about there. You're coming down to about there. And you're coming down to about there. I think that's just slightly better. Just a little bit more room between them. And I need to figure out this warehouse situation, which hadn't really thought about this part. I hadn't really considered the idea that I would need another warehouse so quickly. I am kind of looking at this space for a warehouse, but I think what I'm going to do is maybe build one more house. So I'm going to build a little house, say, right about there, I think is fine. It's not going to line up perfectly with the guys across the street, but that's all right. In fact, we'll speed things up and we'll build two of them because I think I'm going to hide the warehouse. I think we build two houses right there. We get ourselves a new road. I think it could be a dirt road just to change things up a little bit, just to be a little bit different. We can do a little dirt road here, make it a bit smaller. And it's going to just go straight through here. And we're going to build a warehouse behind all of these houses is my thought process here. Whether or not this works, I'm not really too sure. But I like the idea that we build our warehouse ever so slightly out of the way. I mean, it's going to be visible. Don't get me wrong. You're going to be able to see it because it's taller than all of my other buildings. But I like the idea that it would be back here. I think that's kind of cool. It gives me room to decorate around it as well, which is something I'm excited about. So let's build it. Do I want to build it right against the buildings? I don't know if I want to do that. I think we build it. I think we make this a little bit compact. I think we build it right about there. It should be fine. And I think we maybe even go so far as to bring this little dirt road this way so that if I'm probably not going to build back here now that I think about it. But you know what? I think we get rid of it. I don't think we keep all of that dirt road. I think we keep it up to about that point. It should be fine. Maybe even just slightly shorter. And then we just paint the area around this thing with some dirt. So it kind of blends it together ever so slightly. And that should be fine. It gives us a warehouse. It is a fair bit taller than everything else, but it works. Now we can get someone working in here. We are probably going to end up with a fair bit more demand than we have right now, which is not exactly ideal. You are still complaining. Do you have coverage for everything? You don't seem to. I'm a little concerned about you having no connections right now. Can I connect you to like this guy? Click to connect and prioritize commerce building for selected warehouse. So can I just do something like this? And suddenly this warehouse has demand for a bunch of workers. Does this solve my problem? It looks like it does. At least I think it does. Too many assigned workers. So you can come out and you can come out. You guys can come out of there. And I think that solved my problem. I probably could have went with a smaller warehouse. I'm going to be honest. I probably could have, but I like this. I do. I think that's kind of a cool use of the space. Not really too sure what else could go back there. Maybe more houses. Maybe we could do some houses facing out this way. In fact, that's, I think, exactly what we're going to do. I keep getting to a... I keep sitting here like, oh, I'm going to do one more thing. One more thing. We're going to do one more thing. And then we're just going to wrap things up for today. But I should know better than to trust myself when I say I'm only going to do one more thing in any video game that I'm playing. That is the lie. That is the lie, even. Can I do a house in here? Oh my God, I can. That's a pretty good fit. That's a really good fit, actually. Okay. So this is going to help with the population as well. Let's do a house right about here, and we'll do one more right next to it. We can bring this path around. It's going to go uphill ever so slightly, but that's all right. These guys are going to go there, and that looks okay. It's quite dense. It's a very densely packed area, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think we could even get second floor housing, which is going to add a floor to a house, making room for an additional family to live in the residence. Each house has a maximum of 3 floors, and prices scale up for each additional floor. House upgrades for a second and third floor need to be unlocked separately in the research menu. Okay, I can deal with that. So we can click here to upgrade houses, which is kind of interesting. Do we have third floors? It doesn't seem like we do. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. Okay, so I've done a little bit of detailing around all of these buildings. They've all got different plants and lights and all that good stuff. Morning isn't really all that far away. So I'm going to slow things down just for a moment because I want to come into this space and do a little bit of detailing around these new market stalls. And then as soon as the sun is properly up, which to be fair, it almost is, I want to go in and I want to get ourselves another floor on one of those houses. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I think we can experiment a little bit and see what it would look like if we did get ourselves another story on one of these little houses over here, which will ever so slightly start to hide the warehouse that we have going on there, which is probably not the worst thing in the world because I don't think a warehouse is the most interesting thing to be looking at. I think we can also go and put some medium trees in here since we're not too worried about blocking the view of the research center, since we're kind of, we're kind of maintaining it. We're kind of maintaining that sight line, which is important to me. And I would like to see about one large tree in here. I do like this one, but I think this guy needs to move a little bit. And I think this guy needs to move a little bit, maybe even to there, which I'm okay with that. It doesn't completely block the view of the research center, so that's kind of okay. And I think this tree just right in here looks sort of interesting, though it is the same as the tree that's on the right side there. So maybe we do actually swap it out for something a little bit different. What about you? Yeah, I think we go for this one, which is completely fine. I think that looks pretty good. We can go in with another handful of these guys right here, maybe there. And then some bushes. I think that's all we're kind of looking for at this point, is a nice little handful of bushes in this space. We want to make sure they're randomized, which they are. They don't look all that different, but I'll take the game's word for it that they are, in fact, a little bit different as we go through here. So something like that should be fine. We'll go for the smaller ones too. Again, just for that little bit of variety that we're looking for, just to sort of line this space. And I'll tell you, anyone living next to this little park is going to have such a great boost to their house decoration from just the amount of stuff that I'm putting in here. I love it. I really do. I'm having so much fun with this game. It is, I know it's a bit slow. I will say, actually, I mentioned earlier about reading some comments that were talking about the title of that first episode. I did also see a bunch of comments that were talking about, I mentioned being a little apprehensive about whether or not these super kind of long form videos were a good idea. I mentioned how like YouTube as a platform kind of hates them. And I think it's no secret, if you take one look at the channel lately, I don't want to talk too much about inside baseball by any means, but to put it as simply as I can, I don't know if like YouTube's algorithm has a problem with the channel. I looking at the numbers behind the scenes, it would appear that videos aren't really getting pushed out all that much to new people. And I'm seeing a lot of comments on YouTube and social media that have been like, hey, your videos aren't hitting my sub feed until like hours after they come out, or sometimes they're not hitting it at all. So that's kind of where a part of the apprehension comes from about longer form videos, because, people typically don't find, part 2, part 10, part 20 of a series and think, I'm going to subscribe to this channel, especially when part 10 or part 20 is an hour and a half long. So all of that's to say that I did see a bunch of comments that were like, hey, I really like the long form stuff. I really like these longer videos. They're chill. And this is my way of being like, I've seen your comments and I appreciate that I'm not the only one that really enjoys some long form videos on YouTube. This is the kind of thing that honestly, I find videos like this one all the time. Like if I'm going to bed, basically, I might not watch it, is the thing. Like, I'll be honest, there's a lot of videos that if you go into my YouTube watch history, it says I've watched them completely. I will tell you right now, I haven't. Technology Connections is actually a really good channel for that. I love everything he does, and I've watched most of his videos allegedly. I say allegedly because yeah, I'll be like laying in bed, I'm trying to find something chill to watch on YouTube, and like, here's an obscure video about some technology from the 1980s that you've never heard of. Perfect. That is perfect. Speaking of perfect, I think this is a good little layout for that little section of our central park. I love this so much. But we do have one last thing to do, and that is to upgrade some houses. So let's go for, what do we want to go for? I want to go for this one. I think that's pretty cool. I want to go for this one. And I'm going to say that that's probably enough for now. I don't think we need to go too much further than that. We can turn on the train station because we do have some houses that we built that don't have anyone in them. And I guess we can do some detailing here. We can do a little bit more detailing on these windows. We can do maybe a little detailing on these windows as well. And do you have any windows at the back now? You do. Ooh. Well, that is interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Okay. I love that. I do love the addition of some windows at the back, even if it is looking into the yard of the, even if it's just looking into the yard of the warehouse, that's fine. We'll give them some lights right there. I love seeing people walking through here. That's very, very cool. Oh, I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this. It looks so good. It's really starting to come together. I'm excited to kind of build in this space as well. I know I've been ignoring the requests at my mansion for a while, but you know what? I don't care. I don't even slightly care about what people want right now. If I'm completely honest with you, I'm just thrilled that we have like 100% happiness. We have 10 people that are available for work. I love this little central park. I love our little secret garden. I love the little secret park. I'm so happy with this. I really, really am so happy with this. And so I suppose it is important that I am a man of my word and that I say that that is going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.